Hello there, welcome to the next instalment in my accessories mini-series. Now these two items are the ones that I believe can make the biggest impact with the least amount of effort. In this house, on a joint day off, I'm generally the first one up. Firstly because my body clock is so used to a 6 o'clock start, but also because I have a furry purry alarm clock who is no respecter of days off, late starts or lie-ins. I'm sure you know what it's like. The minute you open your eyes, your bladder wakes up, you need a wee. And as I'm up, I might as well make a cup of tea. And as I'm making a cup of tea, I'll feed the cat. And if I'm giving the cat breakfast, I might as well have breakfast myself. And oh look, I'm awake, I might as well get dressed. On these days, I will more often than not go straight for one of my go-to outfits. One that you will have seen me in many times before. An ankle-length gathered jersey skirt with either a short dress as a long top over the top or one of my long-sleeved tops in the winter. And then over the top of that, a little crop top, either crochet or jersey, something along those lines. What has happened more than once is that when hubby does get up, he will decide that we're going out right now. Now, if we are going out for an evening and we are due to be leaving at past, if I am not ready by 15, he starts pacing. So if hubby says, let's go out somewhere for the day, I know that I've got no time whatsoever to get my makeup on or to get myself kind of gothed up. And although I'm not one of these people that has to be gothed up to go out, I certainly do feel better if I am. Now the makeup is not so much of an issue because I've got rather good at putting makeup on in the car. But the outfit can be a little bit of a struggle because sometimes I don't have time to change. And for me, the easiest way to goth up any outfit is to chuck on one of each of the next two items. The first one is a simple triangle scarf. I don't have that many, primarily because of my chosen colour palette. I basically wear black, purple, occasionally red, occasionally blue. So I have my black one. I have a purple one. And I have another black one, no sparkles. This one has tassels on. And it's a very easy way to make a statement round your neckline. The next item that can make a big difference to a simple outfit is a belt. The kind of belt I wear will often be dictated by what I'm wearing that day. You will have seen if I'm wearing one of my short dresses as long tops, I will often pair it with an elasticated kind of 50s style belt, of which I have several. This one being my favourite because of the little study doos. But I also have these. Two of my favourite belts, and again I'm sure you will have seen these many times, are my very 80s styled disc belts. This first one you may remember from a haul video that I did. This next one I've had in my wardrobe for a long time. There was nothing in that centre section when I bought this particular belt, but I could see that once there had been. So I simply mixed up some 2-part epoxy, mixed it together with black nail varnish and filled the void with that. Let it dry, and now it's a faux stone. And I think it works quite well. Next 2 belts I'm going to show you were kind of standard alternative uniform when I first got into the scene, because they were relatively cheap to buy and relatively easy to get hold of. You can probably hear the first one, the ubiquitous bell belt. I think most of us goth girlies have had one of these at one stage or another, and I suspect most of us have had the anklets to go with it. This next one is a little bit more fancy and a little bit noisier. This is my coin belt. I don't wear this one so often because even on the tightest link, it still only just sits on my hips. And if I'm wearing a gathered skirt, it can actually make the skirt puff out and I look a bit too bellified. So if I'm wearing either a long dress that's got the weight to pull it down or a more fitted skirt, then I will wear it. But I quite often combine this with other belts to give a nice layered look. As well as these, I've got a hanger full of belts. All kinds of belts. I've got conch belts and western belts and plain belts with funky buckles and studded belts, all kinds of belts. Mostly the studded belts or the plain belts with fancy buckles will be worn with trousers, and I don't actually wear trousers that often anymore because with my bad leg I have trouble finding them that fit me. I do have a favourite pair of buckle up the side jeans, and those belts will be worn with those. There may be some debate as to whether the next 2 items are actually belts at all, or whether you would call them waist cinchers, and really what's the difference, I'm not sure. They're certainly not corsets because they don't have any boning in them, but they are in the corset shape. The first one you will have seen me wear a number of times. Nice wide elastic with the hook and eye fastening on the front. Second one also wide elastic, lace up the front, does up with velcro on the back. These items are perfect if I want the corset look without being quite so constricted. Now, as you know, I've recently bought quite a few items that I really like, but they've got a little lacy frill on the bottom, and because of the funny shape of my back, they don't sit particularly well over my hips. That is where one of these belts really comes into its own. I can wear the top that I want, I can tuck it into the waistband of a skirt, put one of these belts on to cover the join, and then blouse the top out over the top of it. So I get the nice effect of the top of the blouse without having a weird shape around the back with a funny little lacy frilly bit. So that's about it really. Quite a short one this time because there isn't really that much to say. Until I see you again, take care. Bye.